everybody, this is Sneha here. Welcome to Masala Trails. So today we're making mutton pepper fry. In Malayalam it's called aad erchi varthada. Aad is mutton, erchi is meat and varthada is simply fried. Growing up, I never really ate a lot of mutton because mutton was never cooked in my house. It was only when I moved out of home with my first job did I start eating mutton. And to me, this dish is that memory. It is from my small little apartments when all my friends would gather and we would sit down to play gin rummy. So today we're going to start by lightly toasting 3 main spices. Let's heat the pan for a second here. So this is a very simple way to start. I've got cinnamon. We're just going to toast everything lightly. I've got cardamom and I've got some cloves in this as well. So as you can see, the cloves have turned a slight ash colored and your cardamom is also slightly toasted, so is the cinnamon. Put it in a slight mortar and just let it cool naturally. The next step is to just get our mutton cracking. So I have got about 500 grams of mutton in here. This is boneless meat. Right, so now once you've put in the mutton, put about a tablespoon of coriander powder, just 1 teaspoon of chilli powder, maybe 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric and just a tad bit of salt. Just lightly fry the mutton pieces on the gas. We've not added any oil or anything at this point. Once you think they've all mixed really well, add a little bit of water just to cover the meat. Just cover it and let it simmer. While it is simmering, let's go back to the spices that we had toasted earlier. So just slightly grind them. You don't want to make a powder of it. This is the consistency of the spices that you want. Just add a little bit of this into your meat. So just a little bit, mix it and let it rest on low flame for a good 25-30 minutes. So if your meat has not cooked in 30 minutes, worry not, add some water. You can cook it as long as you like. At this stage, once it cools down, you can even freeze it and put it in the freezer for a good maybe 1.5 months, a good 45 days. Now we'll take you to the last step. This is rather simple and this is really what adds the finishing touch to the dish. Okay, so of course, as a Keralite, I always advise use coconut oil. So here there are about 20 pods of garlic which I have finely chopped for about ½ kilo of mutton. But like I said, you can increase or decrease as per your taste. I like garlic. So as soon as you add the garlic, I've got about 6-7 slit chillies. Just add them also right away. Post this, just add a little bit of curry leaves. Okay, at this stage, we're going to add the onions. I've got about 2.5 chopped onions. To speed up the process of browning your onions, put a wee bit of salt. As you can see, our chilies are just slightly like crispy, so are our curry leaves, and our garlic is just slightly brown, which is exactly the texture we want. While this is happening, let's just quickly look back into our mutton and see how well it's been cooked. So you don't want it to be too dry and sticking to the pan. So if you feel like your onions are taking a little bit longer and the mutton's drying up, worry not, just add a little bit of water. I'm just going to leave it on simmer while the onions are cooking. You needn't close this now, just, smell it nice. So you remember the first spice mix we made of the toasted cinnamon, cloves, all of that? Just add it to the mix. You just want to toast it slightly again with the onions. It's just a light, subtle flavor. So you have some of that is already seeped into your meat beautifully and just some over the top. What is mutton pepper fry without some real pepper in it? So just grind them slightly You might want to keep the peppercorns slightly whole and not completely crushed because it'll spice up your evening. I mean, it'll be fun to have a friend bite into it unknowingly, right? It totally makes up my evening. So now you can see 50% of the onions are translucent and 50% have begun to brown. This is great because this is when you want to be putting your meat in. Slowly just scoop out a little bit of your meat, spoonfuls at a time. Can you see how beautifully it's folding in? You can barely tell where's the meat, where's the onion. Is a soft meat, and it is also not supposed to be overtly dry. So it's perfectly okay if you have a little moistness in the dish. Now this is a great time to check your spices. Is your meat cooked? Is there enough salt? If at all it's missing anything, there you go. I think we could use some salt. So now we're just going to put the gas up on a slightly high flame and just keep stirring it so it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. So we've got ourselves a nice little bowl and this is ready to serve. So let's take a little bite of this. It's exactly what it should be. It's peppery, it's fiery. The onions are half translucent, half crispy, so it adds a little nice crunch to the whole dish. If you like this dish, please subscribe to our channel Get Curried. Thank you.